go. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, happy Thursday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. This is a Jackson's Thursday, so make sure you pick up their 99-cent coffee with your Let's Go Rewards app, and that is at all Treasure Valley Jackson's locations, 99-cent coffee at Jackson's. Appreciate them for sponsoring our Thursday show. We still have one of these hats for John Mallory to get to him at some point, the Jackson's bucket hat here, Johnny. So whenever you're ready,
I'm not a net head. I'm not going to wear that.
Add this to studio there. So come on, you can.
And everybody knows I will wear I will dare to wear the foolish clown suit. I do that all the time. But net hat, I'm going to pass on that one. BJ, good to be here. These Thursday BNN live editions. I know you got a big guest coming up today. And here we are, man, getting ready for some March Madness right around the corner. I know you're ready. You love college basketball probably more than I do. And here we go. Let's have some fun.
You can at least hang this in the studio, right? Come on.
I have one in my cubicle, dude.
Right.
We have all that stuff, BJ.
I want your BNN hat. How about a BNN hat? Will you take a BNN? I want that,
but we need your Leon Rice water bottle, man. That was for me anyway. You said you would bring that back for me, and you never gave it to me. You just kept it, and you show off with it. BJ wouldn't even have brought that home from Logan if I wouldn't have sent him a text saying, dude, you need to bring that bottle back. I need it for the Row Paint studio, and now BJ uses it.
I was thinking of if they beat Utah State in 2 weeks, and during the post-game press conference, taking this up and giving it to seeing if Leon was thirsty,
That's cool.
I'll
give you that.
I can. I'll make this. I want to show it to Leon, but at some point, this will end up in your studio. You can have it at some point. I will make the promise to you. Thursday edition. Excited to have Mike Burns join us a little later in the show. Assistant coach for the basketball team. The defense has been the big talk, the big story of late with this program. 4 wins in a row. So Burnsy will come on and chat with us about the defense, about San Diego State, and he was one of the big coaches involved in the recruitment as well, Johnny, of Alvaro Cardenas, the story we've all heard from Alvaro's side, want to hear it from Burns' side. But literally, when the morning they got back from the loss to Colorado in the NCAA tournament, Mike Burns turned around and got on another plane and flew over to San Jose and had lunch with Alvaro Cardenas and started the courtship of him there, literally less than 24 hours after they had lost to Colorado in the tournament. And that was a big deal to Alvaro. And so going to get the recruiting story from Burns on getting Alvaro and how big he's been. I know he was in your guys' studio yesterday. He signed the wall, I heard. You added him to the wall there in the rowpaint.com studio. So go back and listen if you guys want to Alvaro Cardenas. I think you guys had a video segment with him that's on all the KTIK social media channels. Alvaro Cardenas on KTIK yesterday. He was also on the Tyson Degenhart show later in the evening, along with Pearson Carmichael. And it was a good show, so you can go watch the Tyson Degenhart show last night as well. And we did get it confirmed, John Mallory, that Emmanuel Ugbo was shushing me.
He was? Okay.
Yes.
All right. That makes sense. A lot of people do. He probably got had good advice from your wife, right? To shush you. BJ, I wish I could do a little more of that, but you're too sensitive, man. I can't shush you. You're going to be all mad at me for a while. So,
that's funny.
I'm glad Ugbo can get away with that, BJ.
Yep, and I hope he hits 10 threes and shushes me every time down in Viejas Arena or something here moving forward. But 4 wins in a row. And, Johnny, we watched the last couple nights, no Boise State games, so we're watching Mountain West basketball. And so Mike Burns going to join us. I kind of stopped my promo mid-promo. Mike Burns will join us a little later in the show. We'll catch up with him ahead of Saturday's game at San Diego State. Stay tuned for that. But, Johnny, last couple of nights, man, standings starting to take shape a little bit in the league. We're seeing some games, and last night, Wyoming, you're one of your favorite coaches in the league. I know you and Jay Tuss just love Sundance Wicks, and he went down to New Mexico and almost pulled it off. They had a chance to win that game. They were up big at halftime, but once again, New Mexico storms back, and you take a look at the Mountain West standings here now as a result. You've got New Mexico sitting there in first place, and Utah State 1 game behind them, and then 3 teams, San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, all tied at 9-4. And wouldn't you know it, Johnny, on Saturday you have San Diego State and Boise State playing, and on Sunday you have New Mexico and Utah State playing. So the top 4 teams in the standings, at least on this at least on this list, I know Colorado State's tied and in the mix there too, all playing on Sunday. So we'll get start to get a little separation this weekend.
Those 2 teams as it sits now are in, right? New Mexico, Utah State. You're just saying, okay, stay the course and we're going dancing again. More of, hey, what seed line can we be on if we keep this thing going? Now, for the next 3, like you said, they're just trying to say, hey, look over here. Hey, this is a 3-bid league. This is the Mountain West. Remember, man, if we finish 15-5 in this league, if we finish, 16-4, you better call our number on Selection Sunday in this league. So look at us over here. And I don't know if they're going to get that, BJ. I think one of those 3 teams you mentioned tied at 9-4, probably going to have to win the conference tournament. And then it comes to the committee saying, dang it, are we really going to bump New Mexico out of this thing because Colorado State, Boise State, or San Diego State won the Mountain West Conference tournament? Are we really going to bump out Utah State? I mean, they've been the class of this league with New Mexico this season. So I think at that point, I think the Mountain West becomes a bid stealer, and you will get 3 teams in. As it sits now for me, New Mexico and Utah State are in. The Mountain West is a 2-bid league. Now, can one of those 3 teams separate? And the cool thing is, like you detailed, they're all going to have the opportunity to separate. The games are there. So we'll see what Boise State can do. If you look in detail right here, this is up to the second Ken Palm rankings with Boise State and where they relate in the Mountain West. And if you look on paper, this is the 3rd best team in the league. San Diego State, Colorado State don't compute. The math doesn't add up the way it does with Boise State. If you want to nerd out with Ken Palm, it's there for you. Now, this still has to mean you have to win. It just means now, okay, cool. You've put yourself in a position where you can go to the 4th straight NCAA tournament, BJ, but the games are there and you have to win them. And it starts, I don't know if there was a more important trip to Viejas in the Leon Rice era than there is on Saturday, not just because of the standings, but two, this is a beatable Aztec team, man. They should have got their ass kicked so many times this year, but they recover because that's who they are and give them credit. But this is a ripe San Diego State team if you're going to win in Viejas, and Boise State, 5-game winning streak, and continue to climb those numbers there. And if they can, without question, say this is the third best team in the Mountain West this year, maybe they're there on Selection Sunday, but also gives them a better chance to win the tournament. I think, BJ, if you are the 3 seed, you'd probably rather. I mean, the 3 seed is way better than the 4 or 5. You would agree in this year's tournament, correct?
Yeah. If you're trying to avoid if you agree that New Mexico is clearly the top team in the league, you don't want to play them till the championship if you don't have to. I do think, Johnny, based on what we've seen the last couple of nights, like Wyoming, San Jose, like they're going to scare somebody on that Thursday game. I mean, they're not a team that they're going to hit some shots. That 11 a.m. Thursday game, whoever wins this conference and gets first place, it wouldn't shock me if San Jose or Wyoming, whoever wins that 8-9 game potentially, is putting a scare into whoever wins this league, because they've already done it. San Jose has beaten New Mexico. San Jose has hung with some of these teams, and so Wyoming again almost won at New Mexico last night. So by the way, you mentioned the standings here, Johnny. The KenPom rankings, Boise State is actually second in the if you look at the fourth one over, it says net ranking or net RTG, net rating. That's the KenPom number. And Boise State is actually second in the conference at 44.
I was looking at the adjusted number, but I mean, KenPom, you can search any way you want, right, BJ?
Yes.
Kind of, sort of?
Yes. But if you want just the actual KenPom number, Boise State is second in the conference at 44. But obviously they don't have the resume right now that a Utah State does. I agree with you on Utah State and New Mexico, but pretty much every bracketologist right now still has San Diego State in as well, Johnny. I guess you're saying they're not in yet because they have more games they have to win. You're saying New Mexico and Utah State are comfortably in right now. But I mean, right now, I mean, Joe Lenardi, the bracketologists have it as a 3-bid league already.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't think they
give
more than 3. I don't think there's a way they can get more than 3.
Sorry, bro. I was all over you.
No, that's okay.
If you want to give Dutch the benefit of the doubt on Selection Sunday, if they're borderline, right there, like if you can make a case for them, like people are making for them right now, okay, because I can see San Diego State getting in there and winning 3 games. They win in Dayton, they win on Friday, and then they win on Sunday, and it's like, whoa. The Mountain West has 1 team in the Sweet 16. Oh, go figure. It's Dutch and San Diego State, that type of thing. So I almost want to, and I know you're not supposed to do that, or the committee says it's this year's resume, but they don't do that. Absolutely, in college athletics, you get the benefit of the doubt based on who you are and what you've done. No question. Let's not hide. Let's not pretend like that doesn't exist on Selection Sunday. But no, I think they have more work to do. And dude, flip side this. Is this the biggest opportunity or one of the bigger matches for San Diego State to be able to beat Boise on a Saturday? I mean, they need this as much, if not more. Both these teams are almost desperation mode for an at-large. Can you receive an at-large if you lose Saturday? Either team. I don't know.
Definitely not Boise State and San Diego State, a home game. The problem with San Diego State is, do you know where they play next Saturday?
New Mexico?
Oh, they're at Utah State next Saturday.
Okay.
So they've still got another road game that looks very tough on their schedule at Utah State. So you're already looking at potentially another loss for San Diego State there. And they still play at Utah State, at Wyoming, which is never easy, at UNLV. They've still got, a couple tough road games left. And so, yeah, I think there's at least one, maybe 2 more losses out there for San Diego State. So, yeah, if they lose on Saturday to Boise State, that puts them in a very, very tough spot. But I agree with you, Johnny. I mean, if it's 2 teams that are pretty much dead even, like San Diego State has earned it's kind of the Boise State football, like if there's a tie, do you give it to Boise State or Marshall? Like, I mean,
exactly.
it's
exactly.
There's some built up equity there from what they've done and what they've proven that, right or wrong, San Diego State, I can see them being on the right side of the bubble because they're San Diego State, if their numbers are even with somebody like a VCU or somebody that's on the outside.
Send them to Dayton. It's fine. You know, on an off year, they still go dancing, but it's Dayton, and I would have a hard time picking against Dutch in that game. But man, let the madness roll, man. We still got a lot of time before those conversations, huh? Got a league to finish here, man, and get to see what those three teams, which one of those, like you detailed, can be the team that separates. It might just be, and this is kind of cool with me too, like this can be a nasty tournament because all these teams that have been to the dance recently, very recently, Boise State included, obviously, they're in jeopardy of not dancing this year. And everybody knows you get to that tournament in Vegas and you got a chance. Look what New Mexico did last year. They weren't in, BJ. They won their way in. And I could see Boise State doing that this year, just like I could 3 or 4 other teams in this league, including San Diego State, to win this league. It's going to be, I don't know where Boise State sits, but it's going to be a very anticipated tournament from that standpoint. You're going to have a lot of teams, man, clawing and scrapping and fighting to get that auto bid, man. No question. Down year, and that's okay. College basketball right now, I mean, it's tough to build. You have to reload. You have to reset. You have to, I don't know, find a way. I mean, programs you're going to see this way more often. Great one year, and you take a massive step back the next year because you miss on the wrong kids in the portal or the wrong kids leave you. That's the world of college hoops right now. And it's kind of an off year collectively for the league. I think you've detailed that, BJ, but the competitive balance is still there with this league, which is why myself, you, our buddy Jay, I mean, we watch Mountain West basketball every night. I'm more excited about the Mountain West game than I am the Big Ten game because I know the league, I know the coaches, and I know where they factor in, and I'm going to talk about it for a living. So, yeah, I watch Mountain West hoops every night, and from a competitive standpoint, it's still there, BJ. Look at last night. You saw that. 2 nights in a row. The worst teams in the league have good teams on the ropes. It's a fun league to follow.
I was actually going to make that point that even though it's maybe not as people say it's not overall as good in terms of, getting 6 teams in the tournament, you could make an argument that it's, from 9 up. I mean, Air Force and Fresno are obviously both struggling, but Wyoming, San Jose, Nevada, UNLV, I mean, those can be scary games. If you have to play Nevada or UNLV in the conference tournament, I don't think you're going to be super pumped about doing that. And like I said, I don't think you'd be super pumped to have to take on OB Agbim and Wyoming in the tournament or some of the guys that San Jose State has. I mean, I think there could be some great first-round games on that Thursday from 1 to 8. Going down the line. But look up there at the top, Johnny. I mean, you said that the conference is down in all this, but there's a number 6 next to the Mountain West Conference. I mean, at KenPom, it's still ranked as the 6th best conference in America right now. And so you're talking about the Power 4, and then you have, I guess, the Big East or whatever would be the 5th considered one. But the Mountain West right now at KenPom is rated higher than all the other, A10s of the world and AACs and everybody else. So it's still considered the top, quote unquote, mid-major league, I guess you could say. And so we'll see. I would love for the league to get 3 in. It'd be kind of a buzzkill to go from 6 down to 2. But I think 3 is probably what you're looking at, which I do think New Mexico and Utah State are in a prime position. And I think that 3rd spot, I mean, Colorado State doesn't have any at-large bid chances, even though they're tied at 9-4. Colorado State's numbers are not good. They would have to win the conference tournament. I think it's San Diego State
or just win out completely. You don't think if they go 6-0, 7-0 the rest of the way, they have solidified the 3rd place spot in this league before the conference tournament?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think they've done too much damage already. I think it's Boise State or San Diego State going for that 3rd spot. I don't see a way. I don't see this being a 4-bid league, Johnny. I don't see San Diego State getting in. And if Boise State were to win the conference tournament, would they still take us all 3 of those other teams? Probably not. I don't know if the league's done enough to get 4 teams in this year. Maybe so. We'll see. That the bubble's really bad for nerds like me. I mean, Johnny, you say you watch all these other games and stuff. Like the teams they're talking about, like North Carolina's of the world that already have 12 losses or whatever that are on the bubble. Like the bubble is super bad this year. So maybe another Mountain West team can sneak in. I don't know, but we'll see. It's going to be exciting. Tonight is the only night, Johnny. We're in a stretch of 6 out of 7 days where there's Mountain West basketball on right now. This is the only night tonight where there's no Mountain West basketball. There's a game tomorrow night. Starch Madness. I love that.
Big Sky Night. It's Thursday night.
That from the Missouri Valley, the Arch Madness. Come on.
Yeah, Starch Madness. Potatoes, man. It's the tournament of taters. The Big Sky tournament. They sent me and Prater these T-shirts. as a promotional thing or whatever. So I'll always wear a free t-shirt, but it's Big Sky night, man. I mean, take a break from the Mountain West and you shift on over and watch your favorite Big Sky teams play, BJ. What are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? Do you have any
Probably
plans?
not going to be doing that. Well, we'll see what happens with the snow, but Thursday night is our night with Naismith's baseball team where we go to a local gym and do some grounders and work on some defense. And Thursday night's baseball night in the Rains household. So
I love it, man.
I got to pack. I'm getting out of here and flying to San Diego tomorrow. So I got to get. I'm leaving the snow maybe and getting to the 60-degree weather down there. Although it's raining, I know you're going to feel sorry for me. It might be raining some down in San Diego. May not be.
I hope it does. I hope it does. You know, I don't want you to have any fun. I want it to be like Laramie.
Well, tomorrow night there is a game. It's Nevada and San Jose, and then there's games Saturday and Sunday. So a lot of Mountain West basketball, and it's spread out here nicely with the TV thing. One bummer though, Johnny. Before we get to our first break, Prater tweeted it out, and it's since looked into it and confirmed and all that. But YouTube TV, which the Rains family has, and I think you have, a lot of people have, is looking like they're going to drop all the Paramount channels, and that's about 20 channels, which includes CBS Sports Network. So as of right now, Boise State's game on Saturday night against San Diego State, if you have YouTube TV, you will not be able to see it. You will not be able to see Sunday's game, the top two teams in the league, New Mexico and Utah State, and then Boise State's home game Wednesday. Maybe that's how they pack the place. You can't watch it at home now. If you have YouTube TV, the New Mexico game on Wednesday for Boise State, also on CBS Sports Network. So we'll see if they can come to an agreement at the last hour. But as of today, it's supposed to come off of YouTube TV, and that would be a big buzzkill for Mountain West and Boise State basketball fans here moving forward. And not to mention March Madness on CBS, but you're hoping they can get that figured out before then.
So it's just one of those contractual things where it disappears until they work it out. So
they
now
didn't want to pay.
No.
They didn't pay enough. They lost all the channels, and that's a lot of other channels like MTV. I think's on there. I forget all the other channels. There's a lot of channels that are on there. So
Cartoon Network, some stuff like that. I think they own a lot of that stuff. I had no idea on that. That just come out today.
I think last night after your show, Prater tweeted something about it, and then I saw that YouTube TV came out with a the tweet just saying they couldn't come to an agreement, and so CBS Sports Network gone from YouTube TV likely today.
I don't know what I'm going to do there. I'm going to have to figure out a way, but I'll find a way to watch that. And there's always Bob Beeler on the radio. Our games aren't on Mountain West Network if they're not on CBS something, right? Or if they are. They're not on both, are they? Be nice if you could just watch
There's a CBS app. There's a CBS app, so if you have someone that that has another kind of cable, you can probably use their login and still find a way around it somehow. There'll be illegal streams and things going somehow. My parents have DirecTV, so I can try to use their stream to go to the DirecTV app. But
what about regular CBS?
That will not be on YouTube TV, I don't believe.
Just regular CBS is gone.
Nope.
Wow. All right, well, that sucks.
Go buy some rabbit ears in like the olden days and try to find
do that. Yeah.
They're going to lose some customers over this. They've been raising their price and continuously, and now they're losing channels. They've already lost MLB Network, which is a big bummer for me. I used to love that channel.
Me too, man. I'm gonna really miss that.
They're going in the wrong direction, and I bet you this is the one that forces them to lose a lot of customers. So maybe they make some concessions and do that. We'll see. But heads up, if you have YouTube TV, CBS Sports Network could be gone as early as today. All right, Johnny, before Mike Burns joins us, I do want to get your thoughts, just what you like about this 4-game winning streak, what still might concern you here moving forward ahead of the game at San Diego State on Saturday. But first, do want to thank a couple of our sponsors. RoePaint.com, our title sponsor. Check them out at roepaint.com. All your painting needs. They're coming next week to do a drywall touch-up and some repainting in our house. And the process was so easy. They came out a couple days later and did the estimate and gave us the price, and it was all perfect and just very professional service, and very happy so far with all the dealings we've had with RoePaint.com in the past. We've had our concrete coatings at our old house done twice by them. So highly recommend the services of our title sponsor, RoePaint.com. We are a customer and a client of theirs, and I can tell you it is worth every penny. Hit them up online at roepaint.com. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. Perfect night after school on a Thursday. to take the family to Taco Bell, and whether it's the cheesy gordita crunches, the cantina bowls, the Lux Cravings boxes, they got you covered with the delicious food at Taco Bell, and they are hiring as well. So if you're looking for a job, just go to TacoBellWorks.com, get more information about the SN Management Group, the Nicolason family, or just walk on into Taco Bell, and the Treasure Valley locations have a table right there when you walk in with the paperwork, and you can sign up. And the slushies, the cheesy roll-ups, just love Taco Bell. And I said it before, but literally I've gone in like the last 3 times and seen the owner, Stan Nicolason, and his family having dinner there. So if the owner thinks the food is worth it and good enough to be in there eating it, I guarantee you that there's a reason for that. So hit them up, check them out. And local Treasure Valley Taco Bell location near you. Hey, hope you did not miss the Tyson Degenhardt show last night. If you did, you can go back and watch it. Brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. Tyson Degenhardt had Alvaro Cardenas and Peanut Carmichael on last night. Great discussion, over an hour show. Idaho Central Credit Union presents it. You can find it on the YouTube channel of Bronco Nation News. And again, Idaho Central Credit Union, there's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. You can view their website, iccu.com. Hey, Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, their website is thespateam.com. They got locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team, and I know whether it's a spa for the back patio, maybe a sauna for the garage, maybe a billiards table, for the game room. They got you covered. View their full inventory of options online, thespateam.com. Hey, you looking for a Boise State basketball jersey, a hat, a sweatshirt, jacket, logo golf balls as you get ready to get out on the links this summer? The blueandorangestore.com has you covered. The blueandorangestore.com. Online, you can order anywhere in the world at the blueandorangestore.com, or if you're in the Boise area, just go to the Boise Town Square Mall there on the second floor next to Pro Image, and that's our friends at the Blue and Orange Store. And today's a Jackson's Thursday here at BNN, so reminding you about a $2 hot dog and fountain drink when the Broncos score 70 points. So if they get 70 points on Saturday against San Diego State, which may be a little tough given the defense that San Diego State plays, you can get a hot dog, a fountain drink, and a banana with your Let's Go Rewards app on Monday. Remember, it's 2 days later. On Monday, we'll get your $2 hot dog and fountain drink. And they have the 99-cent coffee deal going right now. So 99-cent coffee all day, every day at Jackson's when you use your Let's Go Rewards app. So we appreciate our Thursday sponsor here, Jackson's, here on Bronco Nation News. Johnny, the 4-game winning streak here. What have you liked most about what you've seen with the way their play has improved the last 2 weeks?
Last 2 weeks, what have I liked the most about this team? They've defended the 3 better, I think, and that's always an emphasis with Leon Rice teams, and they've shot better, BJ. They've needed to. And okay, like we asked our listeners yesterday, how impressed you are of the 4-game streak. And most of our listeners, like, they weren't getting in line to tell us how impressed they were. Like, I'll ask your viewers, scale of 1 to 5, 5 being super impressed, 1 being not impressed whatsoever at all. Where are you with the 4-game win streak? I'd probably say a 3+, maybe a 4-. I mean, it's a 4-game win streak in the Mountain West. How many teams do that every year? I don't know. Probably not many. Now, I get it, though. You're beating all the teams that you should be beating, and that's fine. If you do that in life, if you just beat who you should beat in life, you'll probably end up being a billionaire, BJ. Just beat the person be faster than that guy. And they have been. So you want to give them credit for winning, but you don't want to give them massive credit saying, well, look at all these teams they beat. Look at these venues they've won in. So you could kind of say that, but overall, I mean, they've had to win all these games, right? You're on rock bottom was the term, correct? Leon, on probably on your show with Bob, one of the two, rock bottom, and they haven't lost since. Got to keep this thing going. So it's good to know. The best thing for me is that everybody in the room, their room, the only people that matter, were still focused and said, okay, let's get this thing going. And so far they have.
Tyree says, I'd say a 4. There's been a lot of improvement, but I still feel like this team can play a lot better. Tyler says, defensive intensity, the 9-man rotation has seemed to allow the players to have a defined role. And Mike chiming in saying, I wouldn't say impressed, but I would say this is a good time to play solid ball. If they win Saturday and win at home, then we'll all be impressed. It's a good time to get hot. I mentioned this, I think, with you guys, when you and Tuss did your joint show, which, by the way, has gotten a lot of positive reviews. So we may need to revisit that at some point.
Fridays with Ball Game Tusty and BJ. Yeah.
I mean, I know you're always looking for extra money. So, we can maybe talk about that off air. But I will say, like, you got me. Now you got me losing my train of thought. What were we just talking about?
Sorry, man. We were talking about the win streak.
Yes.
You read some comments.
I would say that I told you guys this, but the team has not entered the Mountain West tournament on more than a 2-game winning streak in a decade. It was 2015 when this team was on it. So every year for the last decade, they've either lost their last regular season game or their second to last regular season game.
They have that hiccup there.
They've never been on more than a 1-game win streak going into the Mountain West tournament in a decade. And you look at the way the schedule is right now, the last 3 games are Fresno, Air Force, and then at home to Colorado State. So at minimum, I think they could be on a 3-game winning streak. But if you can win some of these other ones, like we've talked about it, Johnny, they've really, in years past, done really good in January, and then kind of mid-February is when they start to slide a little bit, and then there's a weird feeling, and it just kind of carries into the tournament, and then they just kind of flame out, and that's it. But maybe this team is, as Leon has said all along, had so much higher ceiling, so much more to improve, get better. Maybe they're just starting their ascent a little later than usual this year. And if you're a diehard Boise State fan kind of looking for hope here, I mean, maybe this is, they're 4 bad teams that, they were supposed to win. They did. Nice, great, but got the confidence going. And maybe this next 4-game stretch here, starting with Saturday, is when they, really kind of put the throttle down and continue that ascent. And maybe this team is, for once going to be peaking at the right time going into the tournament here for Boise State. And I do think there are some fans, myself included, in terms of in terms of media, looking at it going, all right, the 4 games were nice, but you go win at Viejas. All right, now we can talk at large. Now we can talk winning the Mountain West. Like, I do think there is a large portion of fans that, those are 4 good wins. You won big against 4 teams you were supposed to beat. Not saying it was bad. You did what you were supposed to do. That's great. But talk to me on Saturday about 10:30. I mean, let's see what happens at Viejas. Let's see what happens next Wednesday. But I do think if they find a way to win on Saturday, which, as you said, this is not the San Diego State of old here. I certainly don't feel like you're going down to Viejas like some years thinking, oh, man, I hope Boise State doesn't get blown out tonight. I think if they win on Saturday, I know it's 8:30 on Wednesday, but there'd be a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz going into that New Mexico game next week.
Oh, man, New Mexico's going to be sweet. It's always fun when Boise State plays New Mexico. And then for San Diego State, BJ, a lot of times Leon goes down there, and San Diego State's got a team with 2 losses, 3 losses, 4 losses at the time, and none of them are at home. And, like you said, it's like Derek Marks slipping on oil down there. You just can't get your feet in the Viejas. I wish you had that clip somewhere. I don't even know where else I'm going with that, but it's not going to be easy.
Winning at San Diego State would give people a better feeling.
Yeah, show me something. Yep, because I'm with you. If you're a Boise State fan, you won 4 games. That's wonderful. You should have won all those 4. We expected you to win all those 4. But Leon, if you really want Leon Rice to fix you the sweetest, tastiest, flavorful glass pitcher of Kool-Aid ever. Oh, Leon's Kool-Aid is probably the best, BJ. Got to get an endorsement there because he could be onto something there. Yes, not every kernel pops in the popcorn bag at the same time. Some teams peak in February, some teams March, some teams in November. Totally happens, and you can't predict when it's going to. Either this team, like Leon said, they're going to peak. They're going to finally hit it. And then here we go. That's going to happen, and they'll fix it. Maybe they go to the dance, or they keep this thing going. I don't think they need to fix anything. Just win games. And then they get to go to the dance, and they keep this going. Or if they don't, then it'll just be, dang it, it wasn't a tournament. It wasn't a tournament type of team this year. Or it was, but they just didn't win enough of those games they needed to. It'll be close. But yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it like that, like, hey, this team hasn't came close to playing its best ball yet, and over the next 3 weeks it will, and then look out. Okay, cool. It just happens if you want to buy that or not.
Mike says all the metrics look good. They've had bad games this year, but they're peaking at the right time. yeah, I mean, it certainly would feel that way. But again, the
Yeah.
right time, the right time is the next 4 games here. If you can go 4-0 in this next stretch, definitely. But I mean, even 3-1, depending on who the one is against, you'd probably take them. I mean, 3 of your next 4 games are against at San Diego State, and then New Mexico and Utah State at home. And I still think next Saturday, Johnny, at Nevada is going to be a sneaky tough game. Like the Ken Pom number literally has that at 50-50. Like the metrics say that Boise State's maybe a 1-point favorite, maybe a pick 'em at in Reno. Like that's going to be a tough game because Reno has, Nevada has some players. They've had a really weird up and down year, but they obviously play much better at home than on the road for whatever reason too. We'll see what kind of crowd they get at Lawler, but like these next 4 games, man, if you can go minimum 3-1 and somehow find a way to go 4-0, I mean, it would be maybe the best 2-week stretch that this program's had in a long time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like I said, it's trending in the right direction, it appears, but it's about to get a lot tougher here starting in about 48 hours or whatever over in San Diego. It's Keaton says, I'm just happy to see a consistent rotation finally. You were there, Saturday. What did you make of Ugbo? He got more than his typical 3 minutes, and he, I guess it was Friday night against San Jose, but Ugbo got in there, 12 points, 5 rebounds, hit a 3. Like, I don't know what's going to happen moving forward, but if you can get, some actual production and more than just, a couple minutes here and there from Ugbo, especially when you're not getting it from Stanley right now. I mean, that Ugbo kind of coming alive would change things here down the stretch. That was good to see.
Absolutely. And full disclosure, Friday night, I'm doing the show.
You don't have to talk about this, man. I forgot.
I can't wait to run down there. And yeah, I had to put down, God, I've been crying all damn week. I had to put down my best friend, man, a cat that died during my show on Friday. And I had to run to the damn vet right when my show ended and stick my head in a stupid cage and like say goodbye to this cat that I've had for like 13 years. And I missed that game. And it was just a whirlwind. My weekend totally sucked. And I haven't brought it up once all week. And I figured I could finally get through talking about it without crying, but I can't. So it sucks, man. Sorry, dude.
As someone that just had to put my dog down about 2 weeks ago, man, I know, unfortunately, I can say that I've very recently felt your pain, unfortunately. But yeah, I didn't intend for you to bring that up there, man. I know that's been tough on you, and we're all still thinking about you, man. And you've moved a lot of places. You've had a lot of different things going on, but that's been your staple there for a long time, man. Your cat, man. But so we're
founded outside a radio station as a little kitten in Ontario, Oregon. I took a job there about 13 years ago, and just ended up taking this cat home, and yeah, moved like 7-8 houses with me all over the state. Anyway, yeah.
I've never been a cat guy. I've never been a cat guy, but you always go to Johnny's house and there's the cats. I've never been a cat guy though, John. I don't know what you had, something about you and cats.
I love dogs. I wish I had a dog, and I might get a dog now, but dogs were just too. I mean, like I said, I was moving every 6 months in radio, and I couldn't have a dog. I love dogs, and I had a dog growing up, so I ended up kind of working my way into 2 cats, and I ended up getting the other cat because my first cat was lonely. So now I got another lonely cat walking around like, where the hell's my friend, man? I'm like, I know. It sucks. So it's been a crappy week in the old ball game house, man. I'm glad I got that off my chest. Bring Burns on, dude. Nobody wants to see this crap anymore.
I will say this. You got a lot of good people giving you comments, Johnny, but I have not been able to.
I don't need that. I don't need it. It's fine. I appreciate the condolences, but I'm not bringing it up.
I've still not been able to throw away one of my dog's beds here. So I'm still stuck on it too, and occasionally we'll still give that thing a whiff, and it's tough, man. So sorry to hear about that over the weekend. And but in that game, let's finish positive here. Emmanuel Ugbo stepped up, had a big production in that game, and Leon. People were, why is RJ Keene starting and playing? He had another 10 rebounds again for the second time in 3 games. Why is Ugbo getting minutes? He had 12 points and 5 rebounds. Like, Leon's kind of quieting some of those people as some of these guys that he's given opportunities to start to step up and take advantage of it.
Yeah, what I'm liking about that is, Ugbo was playing, he's only playing 3 minutes in the first half, 3 minutes in the second half. Well, what's going on here? Well, I don't know. Maybe these coaches know a lot more about this basketball team than Johnny and BJ do. And they're thinking, well, we start him in this role, and if he does what we need him to do, then it's going to turn into 6 minutes in the first half and 6 minutes in the second half. Then it's going to turn into 10 and 10. And who the hell knows? Maybe it turns into 13 and 13. And this guy, I mean, we've seen him. He's a brick outhouse, man. Like, you could put Ugbo, you could just throw him in an NBA locker room and let the media come in, and the media would walk in and they wouldn't be like, well, what the hell's this guy doing here? Seriously, they would be like, okay, well, who's this guy from? Whatever. He's an NBA body. And we'll see what Leon can do with that moving forward. But I think maybe, yeah, dude, they're just bringing him along slower, giving him that role, and we'll see if the minutes increase. Leon Rice doesn't BS about, look, if you earn minutes, I'll give them to you. Leon will give you minutes if you earn them, and we'll see if they can earn them moving forward, BJ.
San Diego State, Saturday, huge game for Boise State. It's going to be I'm excited to get down there and see it, Johnny. But what's your gut tell you here, man? Do they find a way to get a win on Saturday?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think they'll get a win. I mean, it's a coin flip. I mean, I could flip a coin on it, but we'll see how they play. We'll see how they handle that pressure. We'll see how excited San Diego State is in the VA house to be hosting that game. They're not used to this. They're not used to being like on the other side of the bubble, possibly. So I love Boise State, San Diego State. I love Boise State, Utah State, and New Mexico. I love these matchups in the Mountain West. So let's get after it, BJ. No Mountain West tonight, though, huh? Kind of a bummer.
No games tonight. We are scheduled to talk to Leon Rice, get a player or two this afternoon, weather permitting. So we'll get that up on the YouTube channel. Another big Thursday coming up on Idaho Sports Talk. What do we got today, Johnny?
Dude, do we have his picture here? We need it. Khalil Shakir. He was in town last week. He talked to the team. I want to ask him what his message was when he comes back and talks to teams. What do you say, Shaq? I want to ask him if he watched the Super Bowl, dude. You know how weird that must be, knowing that you were one little break here or there away from just being there? You know, John Bates, we had him on like last week. He also lost in a conference championship game, and he said, I don't know if I'm going to watch the Super Bowl this week. I don't know if I can do it. I have to still, I texted him to see if he watched it. He hasn't got back, but Khalil Shakir said, I want to see what his strategy was. So, yeah, we got Shaq on. Going to be awesome, man.
Well, Mike Burns is going to join us here momentarily. So we appreciate you, Johnny. I know you got a show to get ready for today. So I'll handle the Burns interview here solo if I can make it work. But thanks for coming on, Johnny. Appreciate you. And we'll be listening 3 o'clock today at Idaho Sports Talk.
Yeah, BJ. Whoa.
That's Johnny doing his I'm out of here at the last second thing, unless he comes back in. We'll good old Johnny likes to leave with a vengeance there. Hey, while Mike Burns is dialing in, Lithia Ford of Boise, lithiafordboise.com. You can view all their vehicles online. lithiafordboise.com is their website, and they're doing NIL deals with all kinds of student athletes at Boise State, coaches, administrators. So return the favor. I know with the snow and ice that's coming, you need that four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive vehicle. Now is the perfect time to get it at Lithia Ford of Boise. You can view their full inventory online at lithiafordboise.com. The Raines family loving our F-150 from Lithia, and you will as well, lithiafordboise.com. Hey, Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. We're loving our new house, newer house. I guess we've been in it, about 6-7 months now, and it was all because of Matt Bauscher and Kelly and the whole team there and the work and help that they gave us. So BauscherRealEstate.com. They'll help you every step of the way. It's a tough process to find that right home, and then once you find it, to go through the whole process of selling, buying. And Matt Bauscher and his team, tremendous help every step of the way. So I can't recommend enough. I know everybody has 4 or 5 friends in this town that are realtors, but I highly recommend Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. He's part of the Boise State home team now, so you can return the favor. Bauscher Real Estate, no home. He doesn't just, he'll sell you $1 million homes, but if you got a normal, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home, he's ready to help you out. Doesn't matter. He'll come out personally and give you his thoughts. Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com. Mike Burns going to join us momentarily. Hey, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Shopridleys.com. They got locations for Ridley's across the state of Idaho, the surrounding states, almost 30 of them in all, I believe. And you just get that friendly hometown grocery store feel when you walk in to Ridley's Ridley's Family Markets. Find a location near you at shopridleys.com and download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking for a job, check out TCS, Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com, Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com. They can help you every step of the way, get into the trucking industry in terms of the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Hey, Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com, leanfeastmeridian.com. Leanfeastmeridian.com is their website. 10,000 plus combinations, all fresh, not frozen. They deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley. It's all customizable based on how much you want. The ounces, it's good in your refrigerator for 5 days. Pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you're eating surf and turf for lunch and making everybody else jealous. Order anywhere in the Treasure Valley, and they will deliver to you at leanfeastmeridian.com. Hey, and speakpipe.com, BNN, as Mike Burns is loading into the system right now. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Speakpipe.com/BNN is the website. You can leave us a voicemail. We would love to play some of your voicemails on the show here at speakpipe.com/BNN. And again, brought to you by Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, whether it's a repair, whether it's an estimate, whether it's an inspection, all your roofing needs, hit up the official roofing company of Bronco Nation News, Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. And we'll be giving away some gift cards and things for folks that decide to leave a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/BNN. All right, as promised, continuing here on Bronco Nation News Live, presented by our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Assistant coach for Boise State men's basketball team, defensive extraordinaire. Excited to talk some defense with Coach Mike Burns. Coach, how you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Great, BJ. Thanks for having me today.
Looking forward to chatting with you. We all saw the San Diego State game the other night against San Jose, and obviously, I know you're knee deep into that tape, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But just for you, up and down year defensively, maybe frustrating at times, but I know the last 4 games, you guys have really turned it up a notch and have some of the best defensive numbers in the country the last couple of weeks here. Well, what's been the biggest difference?
Well, I mean, after the Colorado State game, we were on kind of a tight window between New Mexico and Colorado State, both road games. And we had time to come home and practice. We had a bye, and the bye couldn't have come at a better time for us because we had to get back in the gym. And in a lot of instances, it comes down to just tightening up your loose lug nuts. I mean, and that's what we had to do. The veterans in this program know what this program is built on. And, defense and rebounding are 2 things that have kind of been a pathway for our success in recent years. So we got to work on those things. And I think you can see the results statistically in the last 4 games.
The 3-point percentage in particular, as defense last 4 games has just been unbelievable, especially the last 2 games. I think they're like 3 for 34 or something like that, or 3 for 35. Is that a combination of them missing shots? What's changed? Obviously, you're just making it tougher for them. What in terms of the 3-point defense specifically during this 4-game winning streak? Why are teams struggling so much to make threes against you guys?
Like San Jose, for instance, was, I think, second in 3-point percentage, or maybe leading in 3-point percentage in conference play coming into our game. So the number one thing is just, and it's what we keep track of, it's contesting shots. If we contest your shots, if we get a legitimate hard contest on all the threes attempted against us, teams are statistically, and this number has bore out over the last 5 seasons, teams are going to shoot between 18 and 22% against us. And that's just a mathematical fact. Now you have to contest them. And so I think you go back prior to these last 4 games, and there were some uncontested 3-point attempts that went in. And then when you let a team get a couple uncontested ones and they go in, now they start feeling themselves a little bit, and then the contested ones start going in. So more than anything, it's been that. And then, the old ball coach, Leon Rice, has a way of speaking things into existence sometimes that I marvel at. But, we talked about it. We met, after those games, and it was like, look, we got to take away the threes. We got to be better at 3. And so that was an emphasis. And, if you can deliver on what you emphasize, usually it's going to work out well for you.
You guys were, I don't know if ever got over 100, but approaching 100 there in the defensive efficiency numbers at KenPom. You were in the 90s, I believe, at one point a couple weeks ago, and now you're already up to 62 again. I know top 30 is kind of the goal, or that's where you've been the last 3 years to make the tournament. We'll see how the numbers shake out here. But I mean, like I said, I think at Torvik or something, you guys are top 10 in the country the last 4 games. I mean, was it literally as simple as just getting a couple practices in to correct some small things, and now with this bye you've had here to hone things in? I mean, is this the kind of defense you're hoping to see the rest of the season here?
Yeah, I think so. And, our lineups have changed and things, personnel shifts have occurred. And so all these things play a part in it. But at the end of the day, there's a collective accountability and an individual accountability that comes with being a great defensive team. And I think we collectively and individually have tried to own up to that responsibility over the course of the last 2-3 weeks, and the results are what they are. I mean, a lot of the mistakes we were making prior to this were very correctable, and it was just a matter of, taking time to watch some film, work some things out on the practice court, and then just, hold ourselves accountable. I mean, we've got great leadership on this team. And I think, when you talk about Tyson and Alvaro and those guys, they got to a point where not only were they going to hold themselves accountable, but they were going to hold them teammates accountable.
Mike Burns, our guest here on Bronco Nation News, talking Boise State basketball, and right now the defensive effort. And I asked you this before a game a couple of games ago. I know it's maybe seemed like a dumb question, but some fans, you just see the 8 newcomers, guys come from different levels of basketball, different places, freshmen where maybe they score 30 a game in high school and don't play as much defense at times. What is it as simple as, your defense is defense? Is there something special about your defense that maybe takes time for players to connect and mesh and adjust? Or how do you look at maybe some of the earlier season struggles where the defense wasn't up to par?
Well, I mean, all those things are variables that come into play. I mean, a lot of times, when you get transfers or high school guys, they're not used to the level of intensity and toughness and, like I prefaced earlier, individual and collective accountability that is needed to be good. I mean, there's 368 Division I teams, and there's only 9 out of that 368 that the last 3 years have been top 30 in defensive efficiency. We're one of those 9. So it's not an accident. Coach Rice puts his eggs in those baskets, defense and rebounding. And so it takes time to get good at it. And with each year it's taken time. I mean, it wasn't something that came together automatically for, the 2022 team. I mean, they went through their struggles to find their way. And the following year, those guys were gone. We had new personnel. It took those guys. So with each group, it's going to take time. This group, maybe it took a little bit longer than we'd initially anticipated, but they're finding their way, and they're finding their way at the right time. And we're trending in the right direction, at the right time and when we need to be. And, Coach Rice has a great saying that he always uses with our group. It's never underestimate how difficult things are for your opponents. The language he uses sometimes to describe that's a little bit more colorful, but it's truly that case. And I like where we're trending. We're showing up on the glass, and so much of it is, you talk about our defensive efficiency numbers. A huge part of that is our rebounding efficiency.
Yes.
And we were, I don't know where we were, 40s or 50s for a while there. We are now number 2 in the country. And so kudos to Coach Moats and the work he does there with our guys. But those things are all a part of it. And then, you take, the offensive side of the ball and the work that Coach Duryea and Lex do with getting our guys ready on a game-by-game basis. When we take good shots take care of the ball, that also translates to defensive efficiency. So all the pieces are interwoven, and we've just gotten better, a little bit better in all areas, and it manifests itself in better defensive numbers.
Yeah, you got to catch South Dakota State there. They're the one team that's better on the defensive glass than you guys are right now. And you mentioned, I mean, you guys saw firsthand, unfortunately, right, not being able to grab a defensive rebound against Colorado State, it literally impacted whether or not you won or lost that game. And I know Moats does a tremendous job with the rebounding, tracks like literally all 5 players right on every rebound to see what they're doing and ranking that out and stuff. I mean, that's been a staple. You talk about defense being a staple around here for a while. Rebounding, in particular, the defensive rebounding. You guys, like you said, have been up there top of the country for years. Is that a technique thing, a mindset, a physicality? Well, why are you guys such a good defensive rebounding team?
Well, it starts at the top. I mean, it's real simple. From the first time we meet as a team, and this goes back to June every year, Leon Rice will tell his teams that if you don't rebound, you're not going to play. And it's, like, and he's a little bit more nuanced in his delivery than that. But essentially what it breaks down to is our guys know that they're being tracked. They know that every possession they're being evaluated. And they also know that the guys who measure up the best are the guys that when he has to make a decision, over do I put this player in or do I put that player in, he's going to predicate that decision in a lot of instances on who the better rebounder is. And, all you got to do is look no further than Mr. RJ Keene himself, who he's been somebody that, you look at his box score and it's amazing sometimes because he may not take a shot in a game, but he'll impact that game from our perspective at the same level as the guy that scored 18 or 20 points. And so that, coach lives up to what he says in that regard, because RJ Keene is starting for our basketball team. And that's probably got a little bit to do with, our current ascension in both the defensive and rebounding numbers.
Final couple things and we'll let you go, Coach Burns. Appreciate your time. But final defensive question and I want to ask you about Alvaro Cardenas, because I know you're involved heavily in his recruitment. But where can the defense still get better? I know the numbers are what they are. I know the season-long numbers don't always equate to how you guys have been playing of late. But, I mean, you still are you're 276th in turnover percentage. I know you don't get a ton of blocks, but you guys never really have been a team that blocked a lot of shots. In terms of the steal percentage as well, I mean, some of those KenPom numbers are still a little red. Is that just what you are at this point? Can you still try to improve some of those? And if you had a crystal ball, or I guess could grant, Genie would grant you a wish here down the stretch, where would you still like to see the defense, get a little better?
Well, I mean, specifically our pick and roll defense can always improve, and it needs to get better. And one of the, we're not a take your ball type defense. We're a position-based defense. What we want to contest threes. We want to contest twos. We want to put ourselves in rebounding position. So we're not going to gamble to take ourselves out a lot of those positions, defensively to try to take your ball. We'd rather rebound the ball. And we do that, as we've just discussed, at an elite level. So those things all add up. I mean, to put it in football terms, we're kind of like Vic Fangio's Philadelphia Eagle defense, right? We're not going to Steve Spagnuolo and blitz you all the time and do all that stuff, but we want to keep things in front of us and do a better job there. One way we can increase turnovers, and one way we've been pretty good at generating turnovers in the past, is in our pick and roll defense. When the ball is getting downhill, if we can peel off and paint switch some of those late pick and roll situations, the ball will find us. And that's what we always tell our guys is, don't leave the defense to go get the ball. You don't have to do that. The ball will find you. And so we're still improving there, and we've gotten better these last 3 or 4 games, as the numbers would suggest. So that's another area where we can make an improvement. And those paint switches, late switches, veering off with the guards into the bigs and the bigs taking the guards, those things can not only protect our rim a little bit better, but they can also generate some turnovers and hopefully some transition offensive opportunities.
Well, I don't know what the secret is, but you're pretty good in teaching free throw defense as well. You're like top 10 in the country, or in terms of percentage, top 10% in terms of opponents' free throw percentage. I joke there, but you're top 30 also in opponents' assists. So they're having to work to you're not getting a lot of passing the ball around, and then you guys are making them. Maybe you're not stealing it like you said, but there's not a lot of easy passes for layups or whatever. How does that come into play when you rank 29th in the country in assists per field goals made defensively? Obviously, you guys are making it tough on teams to move the ball and score on you.
Well, that's if you look at our numbers year in and year out, tempo wise, our defensive tempo is, we are used to long possessions. One of the areas hopefully that will improve upon in terms of turnovers is non-steal turnover percentage coming down the stretch here. And then that basically translates into let's get some shot clock violations, because we are a team that's going to make you play deep into a possession. And so, if we make you play deep into the possessions, it gives us a better chance at contesting your shot. If we do that, we know what the numbers are there. That's what you've seen the last 4 games. And then based on those numbers, that ball's up on the rim. Well, once it's up on the rim on the defensive end of the floor, we know that we should be able to go get it time in and time out. And, we got a big game coming up Saturday here in San Diego. And part of the reason we lost that game at home was because they went and got that ball and we didn't. So those are all areas that kind of work hand in hand. And I think statistically, they're all connected. And as far as the free throw number, that has a lot to do in a lot of instances with the Corral and Bronco Nation, because when you come into our building and it's full and it's loud, it's hard to shoot in there, whether it's a free throw or an open three. And so we're going to need Bronco Nation down the stretch here. We got some big games coming up, and, we'll need that place full. Obviously next Wednesday, New Mexico's coming in here. So Bronco Nation can help us a ton in all those areas, because when they show out and show up, it's one of the toughest places to play in the country.
Yeah, in Section 12, the numbers prove it. Teams come in there in the first half and shoot way worse than their percentage. It's crazy. We heard the Alvaro Cardenas story from him, just about the interest you guys had in him and you flying out to meet with him and have lunch with him right after last season. He's obviously turned into just an unbelievable addition for you guys. You wish we had him to watch him here for more than 1 year, as I'm sure you do. But just what was it from your perspective in terms of why you identified Al as a good fit for this team, and to see him come in and do what he's done, and the leadership on and off the court, and the assists, and also the scoring, and he just seems like the total package, and just a unbelievable player in person from what I've been able to see. How nice has it been to see your projections kind of pay off? And obviously he's 1 assist away here with a month left, already become the single season assist leader for Boise State. He's had an incredible year here.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And his recruiting situation was unique in the sense that, not very often when you're going into the portal to recruit a guy, do you have the opportunity to say you've basically seen him play every single one of his college games. And in Alvaro's instance, because he was in our league, and because, we've played San Jose basically one of the first couple games for the last couple years in conference play, we had access to most all of his college games. We'd seen him play them all. We knew what a tough competitor he was. We knew what a great passer he was. We knew he was a team first guy. We knew he'd shown the ability to play on and off the ball throughout early in his career. So there were, certain things that we really knew. And then, you never truly know how great a leader someone is until they're in your program. You never truly know how great a practice player someone is until they're in your program. You never truly know, in a lot of instances, how great a defender they are until you get to coach them. And so he's been all of those things. And, it's funny. I've developed a really close relationship with his father and him through the recruiting process, but it's just, he's been everything we could have wanted and expected and more. And, the record books will have his name in them here at Boise State for a long, long, long time. And once he gets done with this year, I think that season-long assist total, that record's going to be a really tough one to capture. So,
well, part of the reason I think you guys have a magical run in you down the stretch here, Coach, is because of a guy like Al and a guy like Tyson. And it just seems, Omar, it just seems like these guys deserve a chance to play in the NCAA tournament and make history and get a win. I mean, I know there's a lot of basketball left to play, but those guys, it just doesn't feel like it'd be right for a guy like Al to not get to play in an NCAA tournament, or Tyson to not get a win there. So I know there's a lot of folks who are excited. And final question for you, and I appreciate your time. You mentioned the game Saturday, San Diego State. They had 15 offensive rebounds the first time you played them. I'm sure it hasn't been fun rewatching that, that tape. And but just, they've been an interesting team this year. They not a lot of household names, and they're fixing things out like you guys are, kind of in terms of adjusting to new players and guys. And they've had some weird scores. They've had to make some massive comebacks. I mean, even if you get up on them on Saturday, you know that there's a likelihood they're going to make a run at some point like they have. But how do you continue this 4-game winning streak, this momentum you have, and obviously going to Viejas, where you guys have had some success recently, but certainly going to be a tough one on Saturday?
Well, it's always tough down there. I mean, it's you're talking about a great environment and an even greater team. So, and that's year in and year out. And this year is no exception to that rule. I mean, you look at some of the things that they accomplished in the non-conference. I mean, they got wins over Creighton, over Houston, the things they've done in league play. The recipe for us is always, pretty simple. And I think they probably would say the same thing. It comes down to, taking care of our ball on offense and trying to get the best shots we can. And then, defending to the best of our ability, and then finishing those defensive possessions with defensive rebounds. And there's no real secrets there. In Boise, the last time we played, they were able to do that at a higher level than we were. So those are the things we'll, try to shore up. And obviously it's going to be a heck of a game, and there'll be a heck of an environment. And, there's a reason that these games end up on Saturdays. The Mountain West knows how impactful they are. And so they're fun to play in and fun to coach in. And so we look forward to the opportunity.
Well, you're getting out of town at the right time with the snow and the cold here. I mean, it's not going to be super hot there, but 60s, and I think I saw sunny on Saturday. So when you're walking to the bus or whatever, you can at least feel the warmth a little bit compared to the weather here. But really appreciate your time and making it work here, Coach Burns. Best of luck on Saturday, the rest of the season. I'll see you at Viejas Arena, and really appreciate your time as always.
All right. Thanks, BJ. Appreciate you.
There he is, Mike Burns. Appreciate him for coming on the show. Always does a tremendous job. Appreciate Mike Burns and great analysis and stuff there. I want to remind you about Jackson's. This is a Jackson's Thursday edition of Bronco Nation News Live. $2 gets you a hot dog and a fountain drink at Jackson's. Whenever the Broncos can score 70 points, you get a hot dog and a fountain drink, and I think they throw in a banana as well with your Let's Go Rewards app. That is $2 at Jackson's. And don't forget their coffee, 99 cents, any size coffee, anytime, any day. Use your Let's Go Rewards app. They got 99-cent coffee right now as well. And one more plug for our title sponsor, roepaint.com, roepaint.com, all your painting needs. We appreciate our title sponsor at roepaint.com. They do a tremendous job with the interior, exterior painting, all your painting needs. Make sure you hit up roepaint.com. Michael saying fantastic interview. What great insight to this year's team. Go Broncos. And 20 minutes of his time here a couple days before a game. Super thankful and appreciative. And I know I didn't get to all your questions and things in the chat there, so apologize for that. But wanted to, Burns likes to have fun, but also had a lot to get to and wanted to kind of dive into the minutia of the defense and stuff today. So wanted to kind of focus on that. And we'll get back to the questions about the Apple playlist and stuff at some point here moving forward. But it was wanted to keep it mostly business today and kind of the ins and outs and nuts and bolts of this defense, how it's improved and how it can continue to improve moving forward here. So we are going to head down, I believe, 1 o'clock. We got Coach Rice, I think Andrew Meadow, RJ Keene going to talk today. That'll be at 1 o'clock today. We'll get that up on the YouTube channel Bronco Nation News YouTube. It's just youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. So anytime you want to go watch highlights, press conference video, old shows, the website is youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. So all of our shows on YouTube are free. If you would just subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would help us out. We're trying to push towards 7,000 YouTube subscribers. So if you just hit the subscribe button there, it's at the bottom of your screen, and then you can turn on notifications as well to know when we go live. So all of these daily morning shows we do at 9 a.m. every morning. We do post game shows live from the games. Other than Bob and Abe, we're the only outlet that travels on the road with the team, and you can watch live warm-ups of the team at Viejas Arena on Saturday. And folks like Mr. Buchanan, Javen Buchanan's dad, are able to watch their son, warm up before the game on our YouTube channel when they normally couldn't do that. And that's thanks to all of the sponsors that we tell you about throughout the show. And I know some of you complain about how many sponsors there are. Well, it's not free to fly down to Viejas Arena and put on a free show on YouTube for you guys to watch. So it's worth the trade-off, we think, for to be able to have live post-game interviews with players and coaches and stuff, and be able to a live video interview with a Leon Rice that you're not going to see anywhere else than right here on Bronco Nation News. So these free shows are not possible without our advertisers. So please support the sponsors, folks. Taco Bell, some of the other ones that aren't listed on the screen here, but please support the sponsors and tell them when you do support them that it's because of what they're doing for Bronco Nation News, and it certainly makes this thing go around and makes us be able to be the only independent outlet traveling on the road with the team this year, and we'll be at every game the rest of the season, as we have been for pretty much the whole season already. And we're looking forward to getting to Viejas Arena tomorrow. We could also use your subscription on the website. $50 BNN 50 deal is the code that gets you $20 off your first year. $50 for a full year of coverage at BroncoNationNews.com. That includes Nathan Carroll, Mike Prater. Hope you read Mike Prater's column on Tanaka Beard, by the way. We're going to get into that more maybe on the pregame show. But Tanaka Beard was very graceful and respectful, and is rooting for Tyson Degenhart to break his scoring record. You can read that column if you're a paying subscriber. Tanaka Beard on Tyson Degenhart's record. Great story and column from Mike Prater, and you can read that on BroncoNationNews.com. Nathan Carroll will have his analytical numbers preview and look at this game as well coming out this afternoon. So tons of content all on social media is free of charge, but a ton of content on the written side coming daily at BroncoNationNews.com, and you can get that for like $3 a month is what it comes out to be. $50 for a full year. If you can help us out, you can register at BroncoNationNews.com. There's a little button to register or subscribe on there, and again, use the promo code BNN50 deal. You get $20 off that first year. And I agree. Perry says Nathan has been a great addition. He's been awesome. And we stole him away. I felt bad for taking him from the 247 site, Bronco Country. But he does a tremendous job on the football and basketball side, and we're thankful to have him. And he's another guy that the only reason I got him is because I was able to pay him thanks to your subscription. So your $50 goes a long way in terms of paying John Mallory and paying Nathan Carroll and Mike Prater and Jay Tust and Riley Smith and Brad Bedell and all these guys. They don't come on for free. So if you're able to help us out, $50 gets you a full year at BroncoNationNews.com. And that's all the written content, and then helps support these shows on YouTube as well. So thank you guys so much for watching the show. We really, really appreciate it. We'll have a live show tomorrow with Jay Tust, and we'll have a big-time preview of the San Diego State matchup and dive into San Diego State and Magoon Guath and their whole crew and what it's going to take to beat San Diego State and what it would mean to get a win versus San Diego State. So that'll be at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Jay Tust and myself here on Bronco Nation News before I fly down to San Diego. And we will have, as I said, interviews coming up to the YouTube channel later this afternoon. So check back to the YouTube channel 3-4 o'clock, and we'll get you Leon Rice and some players as we get set for the game against San Diego State tomorrow. So thank you so much. Go subscribe if you can to the website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, retweet this, like this, share this, all that good stuff. Tell your friends. And as I said, check out the website, read all the great content we have on there, watch all of our old shows and videos on the YouTube channel. And we'll go down and interview Coach Rice and the players and get that posted. And then we'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow with Jay Tust. Most importantly, go visit our great sponsors, including Jackson's. Get that 99-cent coffee today using your Let's Go Rewards app. And be careful if it starts snowing out there with the weather. Drive safe. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News Here at BroncoNationNews.com, it's been a Jackson's Thursday. We're in the Western Collective Studios, and of course, our title sponsor is RowPaint.com. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you at 9 a.m. on Friday.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.